came up with a scheme, basically, to offer, if you buy one book, we'll send you 2 more free to give away. So before the book even launched, we had about 1,000 books out there, people reading it, seeing it, feeling it, sensing its value, and starting to spread the word.
This is Ron Pramshafer, and welcome to Publish Basics Radio, where weekly we try to help you navigate the self-publishing minefield. Bryan, tell us a little bit about your book, Call to Action.
It's a book all about taking your website and making it produce results for you, looking to get the actions that you're trying to get. In the industry, as we call it, increasing your conversion rate.
All right. Sounds like pretty high-tech stuff. What qualifications do you have to write a book like that?
It's interesting. It's not high-tech, but we can talk about that a little afterwards. But as far as qualifications, I am co-founder with my brother, who is the co-author of Future Now, Inc., which has been a consultancy that's focused exclusively on increasing conversion rates for websites. And we've consulted to clients like, GE, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Overstock.com, Dell, Disney, and small players that people would also recognize or not recognize. And our only focus has been, how can we get from your current site better results?
Now, our audience here are primarily self-publishers. Why is it important that a self-publishing audience here be familiar with what's inside your book?
Well, very simply, whenever you self-publish a book, half the battle is getting the book written and published. The second battle is marketing and selling it. And so the idea behind the book is really to understand who your audience is and what's going to take to persuade your audience to actually buy your book. So if they land on your website, and I think every author who self-publishes must have a website for their book. I mean, we had one for ours, and it was critical in our success, that you have what it takes to make sure that people want to buy your book. It's not just about driving traffic to the website anymore. I mean, that's fairly easy. You can, spend a little money on Google. You can, buy some ads, whatever it is. What happens is the traffic gets very expensive if you can't figure out what to do with it once it gets to you.
All right. Now, I did a little Google search a little while ago, and I came up with this headline, which I think sums this whole reason why you're on here today. It says, book hits New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestseller list in 2 weeks with no advertising.
Yep.
Now, you obviously had a marketing plan that was pretty unique, or you were just real lucky. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Part of it was luck. I'm not going to dismiss, that part of it because, we count our blessings every day. But I do think that we went at it with a very strong marketing plan, even though we didn't have a very strong marketing budget, which is probably where a lot of self-publishers are today anyway. A few things that we did. Number one, you have to understand what the objective for the book is. Is the objective of the book to make money off the book, or is it to get yourself a name, to create awareness, to use it as a lead gen, whatever it is, you have to know exactly why you're writing the book. In our case, it really was to, establish more credibility, get the information out there. Again, because we've been authorities in this industry for a long time, we're very well established. We have, I'm chairman of Web Analytics Association, and people know me throughout the whole industry. So we wanted to make sure that the book was out there, and it was never about making money from the book. Okay.
So you thought of it almost like as a business card?
That's exactly it. I had a very, very good friend a couple of years ago when we were in his house, and he handed me what he called his $35 business card. Which to him cost almost $17 because he was getting it from a traditional publisher, and he'd only be able to get discounted about 50% off the price of the book. And when he said that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. So if I publish the book myself, then it only becomes a $3 or $4 business card. That I couldn't afford.
Okay, but now getting up to this bestseller list of a lot of places that people only dream about. Now, did you have a publicist, or did you start by sending out a press release, or go to like the Ouija board, or?
Well, yeah, Ouija board probably could have helped even better. But
things don't happen like this in 2 weeks normally without a hell of a lot of planning.
No, correct. We were fortunate enough to get the strategy from a good friend of ours by the name of Mike Drew. And Mike's actually helped 17 authors hit the bestseller list, and he's a friend of ours, and he kept telling us, guys, you got to do it. And we were like, okay, whatever, and we were just going to play along. Because honestly, we never even thought we'd hit any of the list. We said maybe an outside chance if we got lucky, like you said, we would hit the Wall Street Journal list. But we spoke with Roy Williams, and we started developing a little strategy together, and we said, you know what, we can go out there and target names and pay for advertising to get people to come and, get leads so that we can figure out how to sell them more books. Or what we could do is we said, you know what, we can make the book at an irresistible price. So it's basically an impulse buy. So that was fine. We knew that where we priced it, we could probably be okay, and we could probably break even on the book. We didn't really want to lose money, but we wanted to break even at least on the cost of the book.
Okay, and that price, I'm not sure whether we even mentioned it before. You got a hardcover book selling for $13.95.
Yeah, which I understand hasn't been done in about 30 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, I believe our first conversation was about, I thought it was a typo.
Exactly.
And
it was later priced at $25.95, which it is now.
Yes. So you went through the first batch at $13.95, which nobody, I mean, there's not a seminar you could have gone to on self-publishing that would have told you to do that.
Well, what we figured is, at that price, it was a no-brainer for them, because once it was discounted on Amazon, the book was about $10. So it really was almost like, for $13.95, they said, well, what do I have to lose?
Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of promotions did you do? I mean, did you just send out press releases? Or?
Well, there was a number of things that we did. The first thing we decided to do was said, you know what, we're going to use our principles to make this all work, our marketing principles that are in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first one is, we needed to make sure that we had a book that really had a lot of valuable content and was really worthwhile. So good, we had that. Next, we created a cover that we knew people would want to talk about.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Okay.
This cover's the craziest. I mean, I love it. But it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with what you're talking about.
Exactly.
It looks like an Edgar Allan Poe book.
Yeah, I'm going to get there. And then we decided, if the book is really that good and people really love the material and people really can get some quick benefit of it, they'll probably tell people. So let's encourage them to tell people. And so we came up with a scheme, basically, to offer, if you buy one book, we'll send you 2 more free to give away. So before the book even launched, we had about 1,000 books out there, people reading it, seeing it, feeling it, sensing its value and starting to spread the word. The next step that we really did is say, okay, you know what? Who are the most influential people that we know and don't know who might say something about the book, maybe in their blogs or in their newsletters and stuff like that? And we sent out probably around 100 books.
Okay.
And I'd say about 80 of them didn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
They might have bought a few, they might have shared a few, but it really wasn't impactful. There was a handful that really made the big difference. And the main one was also best-selling author who my friends knew, but I personally didn't know, which was Seth Godin. And Seth was the first one to comment about how much he hated the cover, that everybody should go out and buy the book right away.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that on his blog, and the next thing we knew, our sales just skyrocketed.
Wow.
I mean, they were selling beforehand, but he just lifted it to another level.
Now, this group of, you say 100 or whatever that you sent out, now this wasn't some list you bought. This is one that you sat down, you took the time, and you handpicked who you all to send a book to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people in our industry, people outside our industry. I mean, I sent one to one of the reporters at the New York Times, didn't know him, but I figured, if he got a FedEx with a book, maybe he'd take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, again, it was a $3, $4 calling card. Let's see what happens from it. And some of them were from, like I said, the people I know in the industry, people who have different lists of their own that I thought that maybe they would share them with them. And that really worked out. We had a few people who wrote it in their newsletter and in their blogs, and by the time it was said and done, I think we had something like 70 or 80 different blog mentions in those 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then people linking to each of those blog mentions. So it really spread out. We had a couple of good reviews from different websites as well. And so that really helped push it to the next level.
All right. I.e., you didn't have a lot of money, but it sounds like you put in a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, it's either time or money, and we pretty much took a whole month just to strategize and orchestrate and work on this on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, if you had one tip, what would that tip be?
Really produce something that other people find valuable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come to me and they tell me, I've got a really great product and, people should know all about it and stuff like that. And then when you really look at what they have, it just isn't that important. It isn't that powerful. It's powerful in their eyes and in their family's eyes. It's a harsh reality, and I hate to give that as the tip, but if you can take it outside of your friends and family and have people really raving and talking about your book, your product, whatever it is that you want to market, then you're really onto something.
That's a good tip. Thanks for coming on the show. It was really nice having you on. I really, wish you all the best of luck with your next book.
I really appreciate it.
Take care now.
Thanks a lot.
For Publishing Basics Radio, this is Ron Prampshafer. See you next week.